Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if this works today. It's coffee time. What's in the news? What's going on? Oh, war in Ukraine, I believe. Humiliation for Putin as Russian troops flew from Snake Island. Do you remember Snake Island? That was where... Oh, that was the missus coming back from Sainsbury's. Doors rattle. Because, you know, I try and plan this. But yet, the Ukrainians bombarded Snake Island with missiles and got those pesky Ruskies to flee. And that was the place where they were holed up, and it looked like the Ukrainian soldiers were killed at the very beginning of this conflict. But the Kremlin, they've spun it. They've said that the withdrawal is a gesture of goodwill. They've just got to get out of Russia, haven't they? Sorry, out of the Ukraine. The Russians out of Ukraine, and then that would be a further act of goodwill. Meanwhile, Bernie Ecclestone, he's older than time itself. He owns Formula One. Well, he is the ex-Formula One owner. I think he left under a cloud. He's given an interview. I think he was talking about Lewis Hamilton. Because Formula One, never understood the appeal of Formula One. It's just people driving around in circles, but he with the fastest car wins. It's not like they have to get out and run halfway through and then, finish like that. But anyway, Bernie Ecclestone, who's older than time itself, said he'd take a bullet for Putin because he's a first-class person and believes he's doing the right thing by invading Ukraine. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Meanwhile, Tesco's have fallen out with Heinz. Yeah, so apparently Heinz has raised their wholesale prices, and so items like baked beans, ketchup, salad cream have been pulled from Tesco's shelves because Kraft Heinz, again the company behind that brand, has they're having a little bit of a dog's having a dream. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, she's running. They fell out because of the wholesale prices. I mean, again, the single can of beans, depends which shop you use, £1, £1.20 in Ocado, £1 in Tesco's, £1.20 in Sainsbury's, £1.20 in Asda, £1.20 in Waitrose. So here we go. But Tesco and Kraft both refused to say what the price rises would be. But it looks like the others supermarkets have accepted like a 20p. It's between 20 to 50p price rise in their products, and Tesco said no, they're not having it. And as we can see, this is a Tesco in Bristol. You could say they've had their beans. I don't write any of this. I just make it up as I go along. But that's what you come here for. So where are we now? Let's see what else is going on in the world. If I can get my browser to do what I want it to do. The NHS has gone mad. They use increasingly woke terms in all their material. So, because there's this war on the word woman. Did you know that? You can't have women anymore. Because I don't know if you know. Again, this is a really peculiar thing. But women, like, are different to men, like biologically and physically, and well, hormonally. If you notice that, and the NHS is like, they provide like a health service. It's in the title, NHS, National Health. Well, decided to like kind of erase the word woman from a lot of their literature, and references to womanhood So we have things like chest feeding, human milk, and birthing parents. But don't worry. I think it was Sajid Javid who said he's gonna look into this, and he's gonna return the language back, because again, the more we muddy language, the more we distort the meaning of words, the more chaos we have. This isn't about inclusivity, because, well, it is. It's about getting more men into the female categories, isn't it? But it's a nonsense. You mangle the meaning of words, it just ends up making it dangerous for everyone, especially when it comes to medicine. So there you go. Meanwhile, Nicola Sturgeon, she's got a referendum, the never-endum, as we call them, never-endums, for Scotland's independence. You cannot take our freedom. That's the jocks alienated. She's got some haggis on her face, egg haggis. You get it, because a new poll has shown that only 40% support her fantasy demands for a referendum next year. Not ready for it. Meanwhile, who remembers Captain Tom Moore? Who remembers him raising all that money? Do you remember? Do you remember that? I do. Well, his charity is in further crisis, because Charity Watchdog has opened an inquiry, because they reckon that it may have generated significant profit. And there's also issues about him registering his name as a trademark. So yeah, the Captain Tom Foundation. Oh boy, it's not a good look, is it? It's not a good look. What else have we got here? Holiday makers. There's a lot of holiday chaos. We don't want to know that. We don't want to know that. I should really check the stories before I come on, but I never do. Anyway, I've got some funny ones. I've already put those to one side. This is an interesting one. This is a bakery in the Peak District, the Bridge Bakehouse in Whaley Bridge. Released. It's been vandalised and threatened with legal action, because they released. They received a letter from Christian Concern. Again, they're not sure if it's actually a real letter or a fake letter, threatening them with legal action. And like I said, the bakery's already been vandalised because they've discriminated against Christians. Yeah. What did they do? Well, I'm just pulling up their menu so you can see it. They named a sandwich Cheesus Christ. and then they received this fake legal letter threatening them with action. My God, they wouldn't like it around here at Christmas, because I like to buy like cheese and crackers, and we often get those miniature cheeses, and I call them little baby cheeses. So I'd be in the doghouse as well. Is that really discriminating to Christians? I think it's just clever wordplay. It's a pun, isn't it? Isn't it a pun? Meanwhile, in medical news, this is from a. So I'm just looking at the pictures. This is from a plastic surgeon, Dr. Nicole Castellesi. She is a plastic surgeon, and she's from Oklahoma, and she took to TikTok recently to show the perils of plastic surgery, breast implants to be specific. And you can have a look at this. Look at this. This is pretty grim stuff. Look. You see, what you see in there is a breast implant that has been inside a woman for 36 years. And you're supposed to have them replaced every decade, because what happens is they calcify, and then they rupture, and that can make you very, very ill. And so if any of you out there have got implants, you might want them replaced. Meanwhile, in marriage news, this is a story of I guess she's an influencer from India. She's from Gujarat. This is Kashama Bindu. She got married recently. Here's some pictures. Here you go. And she just looks a lovely bride. She got married recently. Who did she marry? She married herself. Yeah, this is the first sologamy marriage in India. And yeah, you can actually, apparently, in India, marry yourself. Which reminds me of a sketch from a comedy. Is it a comedy show called, wasn't it Jam? Chris Morris. I'm sure he did a sketch about marrying yourself. That was like 20 years ago now. Meanwhile, in diet news, we want some diet news. Do you want diet news? This is Boban Simic from Chicago. He's a I guess you'd call him a bodybuilder. Have we got a picture of him here? Oh, it's one for the ladies. This is Mrs. If you're watching, I might have to cover your eyes, because he's got everything hanging out. Here you go. Look, here he is. Here's Boban. Look at him. He's a fine figure of a man. But he says that the secret to his diet and his fantastic physique is, well, he eats raw meat, especially raw chicken. And here he is eating a raw chicken. Here he is. There it is there. And yeah, Boban, not only does he eat raw chicken and raw beef as well, he's even added his girlfriend's vaginal discharge into his probiotic shakes for added potency. If you're having lunch now, you might want to, I don't know, take a break. I think we'll end it there. I did have another story, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow because it's Friday and it's a good one. Let's see if there's anybody in the old chatty room. I don't know if there is, because I don't know if anybody's in there. Let me just have a look. If you're in there, thanks for being there. Just takes me a bit of time, so I don't have it open whilst I'm broadcasting, because again, any strain on the computer. James G this afternoon, got to go back to mowing lawns and pruning roses, but I'll listen in the van, thanks. If you're for hire, James, my very small lawn needs mowing. Daniel's in. He says, I noticed that our beloved clip channel is released in a montage of hate in October. We're cracking our boots, of course. Yeah, well, what I'm doing is I'm actually reporting him for copyright strikes now. I did one yesterday because I don't like what he's done to Garrett. You know, he's been harassing Garrett in the comments, and so I don't mind him coming after me. There's been videos he's posted you for years. You know, I just let it roll, but I don't see why I should victimise any of you people. You know, you haven't done anything wrong. Yeah, take the piss out of me. I can take it. My back's broad, you know. But I'm kind of getting back because of what he's done to Munton, you know, because I don't think it's very nice. And this person's obviously a little bit touched in the head because he takes my clips and then, you know, takes everything out of context and then libels me. It's a shame, because if he wasn't an anonymous troll, I could have him done for libel many times over. He says I'm convicted. I'm a convicted diabetic. No, I've never been convicted of anything in my life. That, son, is a libel. I think you're mistaking me for somebody else, because a lot of these people on the internet cannot tell fact from fiction. You know, they put in Darren Lock and they think I'm all the Darren Locks in the world, and I'm not. I've only been diabetic in the last year, for the last 12 months. Yeah, diagnosed diabetic. So you got me mixed up with a different diabetic. Because I don't know if you've searched. There's a guy called Darren Lock who was murdered, and they think that's me. And there was another guy called Darren Lock who killed someone accidentally about 12 years ago now, or maybe 10 years ago, because he passed out with diabetes and crashed his car into someone. I don't drive. I didn't have diabetes then. Wrong part of the world. But they're so stupid. They think they've got something on you, but you know. Oh dear, clean living guy who's never been in any trouble with the police, you know. But you know, let them have their fun. Let them write lies about me. I know the truth, and people who follow me know the truth too. You know, it makes it difficult for me. Again, I guess, you know, for the job hunting, because if people search for me, they're going to find this stuff and they're going to think the worst of me. So, in my job search, you know, again, that's what they do to you. That's what they do, you know, and they think it's funny. But there you go. Daniel says, not meant to promote it. Oh, I don't mind. Go and find it. Let me get it up. Let's put the link in for everyone to find. I've got to open another window. Can my poor computer handle it? This is the channel you need to go. He's set up a fake account because, you know, it's what they do, because they do. And here's the link. Enjoy. Subscribe. Follow. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Report. You know. Do what you got to do. I mean, I'm not hiding it. I mean, this guy's been doing this for years. You know, many years. And he, you know, because he has many multiple channels. You know, and that's what you have to put up with when you're a famous YouTuber. I'm no one. Imagine, he does this to me. Imagine what the famous people must get. Imagine what the real, you know, I'm no one. And they do this to me. Naz says, hey again, mate, that sandwich looks good. Indeed. James says, can do, mate, but I'm in Swindon, so I'll be a bit late. Well, whenever you feel like it. Payne's in, and we know he's the real Payne because he has a little spanner by his name. And good afternoon to you too. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you can like and share this video, do the YouTube stuff, and we'll do this all again soon. Yeah. And if the missus is watching, of course she is, because it's lunchtime. I hope I didn't put you off your sandwich with that last news story. But tomorrow, I've got a cracking story. Got a really good story. I attempted it with it yesterday, but I'm holding it for Friday. I think it's a Friday story. We're going to end on a funny tomorrow. It's going to be great. So yeah, thanks for watching. Do this all again soon. My name's been Darren Lock. This has been the news. Don't forget, you gotta drink it up. Oh yeah.